It says I'm live now, according to this.
Well, I may have to refresh then. Will I lose this live chat? Probably.
Yeah, I'll have to get the new live chat into here. Oh, what a pain in the ass this is.
So if I come out of that.
Okay, that's gone. All right, so we're streaming again, according to YouTube.
I'll tell you in a minute. I'm just going back onto YouTube. I've just come out.
We are streaming.
Right.
You may
Live. Let's have a look.
need to go to HTTPS.
Right, we've got
//
two watching live stream. Right.
YouTube.com /ranzee. How to type on a Microsoft Surface /live. We are streaming. You may need to go to HTTPS for, I think that is the correct. Here we go. They've got the address now. We can get people back. There's only 2 people watching on this other one.
Yeah.
So get them all over there.
I can't get back to them now. Unfortunately, I've lost the live chat, so now.
Yeah, I've still got it open here. We're good to go.
All right. I could only open one at a time.
Are we on a different stream now?
Yeah, I've had to go to the default stream. What a weird bit of weirdness. I could have sworn we were streaming.
That's okay. Just get back. You'll be alright.
I think we started streaming, and then because otherwise I'd have noticed straight away. And then, like when Inky said, and I looked and I thought, think about it, it's still saying waiting for you.
Yep. So I need to change our streaming chat to this.
I can't copy that.
There we go.
Can't get into. Oh.
Still
waiting.
It's waiting
there's 3 people.
Here we are.
I've still got waiting for Ranzee here.
Yeah,
have to go out that and start again.
Just go to my channel and just refresh it from the channel homepage. You'll see it.
Yeah.
We've lost everyone.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get through it.
I think some said they were going for a cup of tea while we sorted it out.
Yeah. They did.
Jonathan's there.
Yeah.
Jonathan's back.
There we go. I got it. Hi, Jonathan.
I'm just telling him in this other chat to go to my channel and refresh the page.
Let's all blame Jonathan's video.
We'll have to start it again.
That's why, yeah.
All right.
Maybe he should be on here. Maybe I should jump out halfway through and he could come on.
I can't. I can. Yeah, the problem I've got is I can only do one Skype call at a time, and you guys need to stay on your other calls, Inky. So that's fine. Okay, we've got a few people coming back through. Into Joe. Where are we? Jonathan Cross is here. Cool. We've just about lost everyone though. How annoying is that? Thanks, YouTube. Whatever you did. I don't know what they did, but they did something, and I'm not happy. And I would be...
Finn's back.
Finn's back. Stephen, over afternoon. Cool. Beautiful. We've got a few people in here. Let's... The thing is, I'm not going to be able to get my socials going yet. Anyway. Okay. So, the stream's going again, which is good news. And... I don't know what happened to YouTube. They just completely stopped streaming. There was no problem with the internet. You guys were all coming back through here. Fine.
I'll tell you what, I'm on a mega delay on the stream, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you have to go through the channel homepage. I had to choose a new stream. The other one just completely died on me. Anyway, so...
Yeah. I got a good 20-second delay.
Yeah.
You got a big delay.
As long as I don't pay attention to that. Yeah, as long as I don't pay attention to it, I'm all right. If I look at it, I'm going, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start answering my own question.
Okay, it still shows that it's still working to me. Okay, we got to keep, yeah, we got to keep going because I want to see if I can get the stream going a bit faster. It's on low latency.
Well, maybe 20 seconds is low latency. But
yeah, I'm just going to wave my hand and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 seconds for me.
oh, it's probably about 15 then.
Okay. All right. Anyway, the stream is back, and slowly everyone's coming back in. Hello to everybody coming back in. Don't know what happened. It has nothing to do with me. It was to do with YouTube. I think just complete weirdness on YouTube's behalf. But anyway, here we are. And where did we get to? So let us know in the chat what we got to. Did we get any video out at all, or did you guys see all the segments? What did they see? Let us know in the chat. Where did it kind of all just die? Or did
it never start?
Did we have no stream at all? That would be completely zero, Axel saying. Wow.
Yeah.
Did not see anything.
No. So it didn't even start
They were
streaming.
all just sitting in there waiting patiently for everyone. Okay,
and
so
we're chatting to them, thinking that they can see us.
Here's a massive laugh for everyone. The stream that we were doing got all the way through all the segments, and we were just about to we were just starting to show the new segment, which is the gem of the week. And yeah, so what do you want us to do? Do you want us to restart everything? I think we should probably need to, don't we, if everyone's missed out on it. There's quite a bit going on, wasn't there? All right, okay, where are we? We've got to put that back there. All right, so normally what I do is after the stream starts, I say, hi everyone, and welcome to Saturday, and blah, 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 blah. So we'll just skip all that, and what we'll do is we'll go into the next thing, which is FunnySide. And let's please tell me in the chat if you can hear us and everything, but let's roll the stinger for FunnySide. Ah, dearie me. Now, FunnySide. I feel like I've had a bit... We're all getting a bit of deja vu here, aren't we, guys?
We will be now.
Yeah, but you guys won't be able to react as well anymore. So, it's all coming through great. Yay! Okay, cool. So, let's start with FunnySide. Firstly, we've got a special presentation that now everybody knows about, except for you guys who are in the stream. Okay, so the special presentation is a video, and I'm going to play that right now. In this video, we're going to check out the fake Korg Volcas that were around on the internet. This is a bit of a collation. The guy that invented the Volcas is Tatsuya Takahashi, and this is Tats Volcas. Korg also did their own mock-up, the Volca set. Awesome. So let's have a look at the real mock-ups from other people. Volca GM, this is if you're into general MIDI. The Volca VL, if you're into the Casio. Volca Chord, if you're into string machines. Volca Poly 800, the original Korg. Bagpipes, yep, you got it, Scottish. I did this one, LSD, if you remember this article. And don't forget the Volca sampler. They actually did one, and here it is. So let's check out Korg's marketing department's ideas. Actually, not really. This is the Volca FX and mix, and they actually did a mix. There it is. There's the Volca Axe, probably the world's worst Photoshop job. And Roland probably won't like this, the Volca Space Echo. So what takes the Volca cake? The Volca Toast. Yep, they did 2 of these. Who likes the burn filter? Awesome. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Well, there we go. There's our special presentation for the FunnySide this week. Actually, the reason why I did that is I had so many Volca mock-up images sitting here ready to do some sort of meme or something about it. I just thought, this is too many. I'm just going to have to do a video on it. And some of these were really, really good. So anyway, there's the first part of FunnySide, and the next one is this one. We had Halloween during the week, and this guy thought he'd dress up as a synth and walk around and trick or treat. Let us know in the chat if you celebrated Halloween and walked around and got treats and dressed up as a synth like this guy. I don't know if I'd be doing that, but anyway, that's the first one. Second one is, ladies just found out a couple of guys trying to break into the house next door, and she said, "Look, I won't tell the cops if you steal their piano." I thought that one's a bit of a roasting there. Next one. When you finally let someone listen to your epic new track, and they keep asking, "How much longer is it?" And you've got to look at the face. Oh, it's classic. Sorry, that one's a bit nasty. Anyway,
no, I do that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're all scared of. That's the realistic.
Yeah, that one is our deepest emotions. And I can't believe it. I've actually now officially been part of a meme. I couldn't believe when I saw this on one of the Facebook groups. So, yep. Apparently I made the Korg Volca FM unofficial firmware, but I didn't. So I just did a video on it. But anyway, some guy thought I did. For those who don't know, there's a video on my channel. You can go watch it. But yeah, finally now I'm semi-famous. I've got a meme written about me, which I thought was reasonably cool. So yeah, what did you guys think of FunnySide this week?
That was pretty good. There's a Volca polka that was in synth memes today, which they have left out of there. That's one mention. And
Yes,
I'll just say
that.
I couldn't hear the audio in that video either that time or last time, but the rest of the stream's been fine.
You couldn't hear the audio in the video.
No, but I'm glad they've made a meme with you in it. That's excellent. That's next level.
Well, the video is on my channel, so you can check it out, and there is audio on it. I don't know why the audio didn't go through. Maybe I forgot to click a box or something.
There was a notification that said that you just uploaded that video to YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's the video. Yep. So you guys can go watch that later. There's definitely audio in there.
Just not coming through Skype.
Let's just see if it wants to play audio. Try it again. In this video, we're going to check out the first Korg Volcas that were around on the internet. This is a bit of a collation.
No, I'm not hearing it.
The guy that invented the Volcas is Tatsuya Takahashi, and this is Tats Volcas. Yeah. Korg also did their own mock-up, the Volca. I think that's just a feed thing for you, mate. So I will address that later. Okay, I think that the stream would have heard it. Yep, cool. The stream heard it. It's just for you, Darren.
That's cool.
Awesome. Okie dokes. Now, moving right along, we've got the next segment, which is news. So we're going to go do all this again. Here we go. There we go. Welcome to the news. And this week, we've got a couple of interesting things. I thought this one was pretty cool. This is the new Nifty case and Nifty bundle by... now I've lost my keyboard. I'll get my notes back up. By a company called Create Audio. Sorry about popping into the mic there. You can see on the video which I'm about to show you, they've got a couple of modules and the case itself. And basically, you can get it as a bundle. I'll let you guys the price in a sec. Let me just grab the video so we can get that up. And fade to that. So this is the case. Now, I probably won't play the video so much, but what I want to do is I want to show you, there's the chips module, there's the cells module, which you'll see a better view of it there. So you can see the cells module is kind of like this beehive. It's kind of like a CV touchpad programmable, and apparently you can use sequencer as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, the thing that I think is the most cool about this is the actual case itself. So let's just have, before we look at the case, let's just have a little listen to the chips synth.
Tuning properties, modulation that you can change with the width knob or by sending voltages. O2 to modulate the tune of chip 1.
Bit of a chip tune synth, which I like.
Use the depth knob to increase the effect of the LFO and the rate knob to change.
Alright, now the other thing I want to show you guys is the case. Now there's another video where we were looking at the case in a bit more detail. Here we go. Okay, the case itself is actually powered, and it includes these CV ports up the top. I'm just going to skip because this guy talks about it for ages. It's also got these 2 ports, and the niftiest thing about this case is this on the back. It's got audio out, MIDI through, MIDI in, USB, and it's all powered, as I said before. So, quick reaction from Darren about the Create Audio Nifty Bundle.
Yeah, I like it. I think even if you don't want the modules, for the price that it is, you've got MIDI to CV, USB on the back as well, powered for you, so it's a powered case. How many, what does it say the width is? It said you can get about 10 modules. What's the width? HP or
don't
actual,
have that info here, but it'd be on their site. Price for the bundle is $269 US dollars, so that's pretty good. And you can actually get the modules separately. So the case is $199 by itself, and the modules are $99 separately as well. So I think for $269 US dollars, that's actually really, really good. I think that's even cheaper than the one row rack brute, if I remember rightly. And you're also getting 2 modules included in that. So
85 HP, I think Inverted Pops has just said.
Okay, cool, beautiful. 85 HP, nice. Thanks, Inverted Popes, for the bit of impromptu information. Let's keep going. It feels weird because we've done this news once before, but nobody heard it. Anyway, we'll keep doing it. Yeah, next one is the MFB Synth Pro from the MFB company in Germany, I think they're from. And now, what is the Synth Pro? It is a desktop analog 8-voice polysynth. It has 3 analog oscillators. There are DCOs. It's got sawtooth, triangle, rectangle, pulse, ring mod, and noise, and they can be cross-faded. Each oscillator offers FM and sync, and there's also a sub-oscillator. There's 2 analog filters, a 24 dB low-pass filter, and there's also an SSI 2144 multi-filter, which has got things like bandpass, notch, and all that sort of stuff in there. What else? Dual analog VCAs, 2 LFOs, 3 envelope generators, and I'm trying to read this behind my microphone here. 3 of the envelope generators, 2 has ADSR and 1 can be looped, and it also has built-in FX and an ARP and a sequencer. So there's quite a lot in that. I did have a video, but there's just some guy rabbiting on about it at Superbooth, I think. So don't worry about the video. Price 1,080 euros. Quick reaction from Dazza. Put you on the spot. Go.
Cool.
MFB.
I was always interested in the Tanza bar, but I've never got around to actually having one. So their analog drum machines have a good reputation, as Inky was saying the previous time we went through all of this. But I have heard some criticism of them, that there's things people don't like about them as well. Maybe the way they sync, I'm not sure. But with all of these things, I'd love to get more into CV and explore that side of things. I love the idea of the case before too. That'd be a good way to get started for someone like me.
Yeah.
But a big rabbit hole to fall down as well.
Big rabbit hole, yep. Inky, you were saying something last time about MFB. You want to say the same thing again?
Yeah, just like the drum machines. But I don't know about the timing issue. But yeah, everything they make sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Pretty clever.
Yeah, they seem like pretty good. I just think the one that always caught my eye, the Tanza bar was good, but the Dominion, that mono synth that they brought out, that used to sound amazing. So that was probably the one that I held the most homage to. But I don't know, I never got around to seeing one, hearing one in person. It was just all over, the interwebs. I don't think there's any shops in Australia that sell them, so that's probably one of the problems. Anyway, let's move right along. The next one is from these guys. These guys are interesting company. They're from South America, from Peru, and the company is called Atomosynth, and this is the Perceptron, and it is a semi-modular desktop analog synthesizer. It's also Euro-rackable, of course, and it looks really, really awesome. I've got a little video, and while we're watching the video and listening, I'll just tell you quickly, it's got a single VCO with pulse width mod and FM and sub-oscillator, low pass and high pass filters, 2 envelope gens, 1 with loop, 1 LFO, and built-in delay FX processor, which you're about to hear. But probably the big thing is, look at all those patch bays down the bottom. Look at this. There we go. Anyway, that just goes on and on and on. And you guys can watch. I'll have all the links to these videos in the description after the stream has reposted itself, if YouTube lets that happen. It's YouTube being weird today. Guys, quick reaction to the Peru company, Atomo Synth. Who wants to go? Darren?
Well, if it's got CV in it, then I'm always interested in it, aren't I? So I don't know if it's that much. 16.
16
Is that
CV
much
ports.
stuff I want now? It's like, I need a new case. Have you noticed at the side of this studio here, all this is gone?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a massive studio. Yeah, it's all gone, all the cables, everything. You're lucky I got on today because I'd unplugged everything, so I didn't know that it'd all work. The front that you can't see, that's been redone. The only thing that'll be staying is the back wall that you can see. So yeah, there'll be something. I don't know what we're doing before Christmas, but there'll be something new here for you to all see.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute because I actually want to talk about something that's next year, but don't tell me now. Okay, next segment is the eBay scams and price watch. Okay, now we're doing this in reverse. Dazza, this one you brought in, matey. I'm gonna give you the floor. This is a we can flick backwards and forwards. Yeah.
I don't know what I was shopping around for during the week. You know what eBay's like. You're sort of looking, and maybe because we've been talking about Junos, that caught my eye, and I had a look at the price. It's like $6,000 in Australian, $5,500. So whoa, and then you've got to get it posted out here. We're like the other side of the world down here. So
yeah, so £2,880 plus £230 postage. Yeah, and I actually found out that auction has been ended. So no one's bought it. It's just been ended. So it's one of those things where someone's taken it down. Yeah, thanks for bringing it out. If you do actually come across the weird price stuff, and I'm talking about you guys who are watching the stream, you can send it in and we'll put it on the stream and we can have a chat about it. So Daz has done that this week, so well done, Dazza.
I could do a fake one. I could do a fake one and just put it up at a ridiculous price.
Yeah.
Just for
Next one is more probably like a bit of a sort of, not so much a scam, but a bit of an insane price. The Boss Dr. Beat DB66. These things are pretty lame. Someone wants about $200 US for it. It's probably a little bit overpriced, but it's not too bad. You guys can let us know in the chat if you think that one is over or under or normal. The next one is this one, DSI Mono Evolver. I remember when these came out. This one's the one I liked was the Poly Evolver, but anyway, this one's the Mono Evolver, and I don't know if £707 is kind of what the going rate is. I didn't think it was a scam price. I just thought it was a bit of a lend. You know that you see those. We had this famous movie in Australia called The Castle. Daz, do you remember that movie? And they used to go. They went through the paper, didn't they, mate? And they used to look at the classifieds, and the old man would go, "You're dreaming," if he wanted something that was a bit too much.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Tell him he's dreaming.
For one note, you've got to be kidding.
Yeah.
It only plays one note.
It only plays one note.
Yeah. Get two of them to a chord, maybe.
So there's the eBay Scammers and price watch for the week. Like I said, if you want to have yours in, you can send it in. And you could be on Craigslist, you could be on Gumtree, you could be on Reverb.com, you could be on eBay like we are. Sometimes we're even on Facebook. They just buy and sell things on Facebook. What am I looking at you for, Dazza? It's not you're not talking. I'm talking. I was looking at the wrong window. Yeah, so it's something that you guys can send in. All right, now we're about where we were when we realised the stream had done a complete nutser, and we've been trying to get this segment off for a couple of weeks now, and thanks to Inky and all her hard work, we've got a I'm going to let Inky introduce it, but I'm going to roll the stinger first. So let's roll the stinger and go. Jam of the week. All right, Inky, you got the floor. Introduce our jam of the week.
So I belong to a jam group called Hardware Jams on Facebook, and there's some really brilliant jammers, and Mr. Jonathan Cross is one of the best of them. Although they're all really good. So yeah,
JC's in the chat room. We were going to get him on the stream today, but you know we've got some issues with the amount of people that we can bring in due to the software limitation that I've got and everything like that. And I can't get more than one Skype caller going at once. So JC would have loved to have been on as a video caller. We might be able to see what we can do next week. But anyway, without further ado, let's play his jam because that's what it's all about. And I'm going to fade and we're going to play. Very, very, very nice jam there from Jonathan Cross, who's in the chat room, and we can have a bit of a chat about it. So starting with, I think we should just get JC to sort of run us through a little bit. He did mention it in the video with his titles. It was nice of him to tell us that he had a Micro Monster there and stuff like that. I can hear a TR8, I think, Darren, can't we, in that as well? So let us know, JC, what you think. What you think? What gear you were using in your jam, just to get us all sort of gear crazy. It'd be a good segue for the next thing too.
That's quite a gentle jam from JC. He's quite a techno head, but he's also very good at the piano as well.
Yeah,
so
very
I think
good.
He comes from sort of classical training, but he's heavily into techno. He's really good at live techno.
Fantastic.
He plays gigs.
Yeah. So he said so far in the chat, there's TR8S on the drums, Korg Monologue on the bass line, Audio Thingies Micro Monster. I love Audio Thingies. I've mentioned those crazy French guys on the stream before. Modal Sculpt. Wow. That's why there's some sounds in there that I've never heard. So there you go. And an Arturia Microfreak, which I saw, I think you can see it down the bottom, not on the side, but down the bottom next to the Microfreak. Sorry, the Micro Monster. Nice, beautiful. And some comments from, let's start with you, Dazzle. What did you think of Jam of the Week this week?
That was great. That had some lovely sounds in there. Nice and relaxed. I like the captions, giving a bit of an explanation and a bit of a visual component to it. Something to think about, like it could be used in a movie soundtrack, and the characters are playing certain roles. That's very clever. That's good.
Yeah.
Makes it more accessible.
Fantastic. And Darren, your turn to have a little comment.
Yeah, I like it. I went straight to his channel. As soon as I seen it, I went straight to his channel. Yeah, he's into all the same sort of bands and the like, you know. But yeah, it's great. Korg monologue, nice bass. Yeah, can't knock it. It's brilliant. Like it. So I'll be checking out more of his videos when I get a chance.
Really, really good. I actually, as soon as Inky gave me the link to this, I knew it was a winner. And once again, Inky, thank you very much for introducing a couple of the guys already from that hardware group that you've mentioned these guys before in the stream. So it's no wonder that you're getting some inspiration from them, because yeah, it's incredible. Well done, JC. Pity we couldn't get you on the stream and in terms of video caller. We will definitely invite you to come back. You're part of the family now, mate, because your video has been on here. If you are someone who knows someone like Inky did today, and you think that there's a jam that you feel, you just need to share it with everyone, let us know. We'll try and invite the actual performer to come into the chat room and definitely ask questions. Don't forget too, if you're watching the stream, to ask Jonathan some questions. He's in the live chat now. And he'll give a plug to the Facebook group called Hardware Jams, which is where some pretty cool stuff is happening. Now, that's good. I'm almost feel like relieved because I've now finally got the first Jam of the Week segment out, and it's awesome. It actually, it was a really good one. So I think it's going to be a hard act to follow. We'll wonder what's going to happen next week anyway. But getting ready for the next segment is our Saturday Sonority, where we talk about anything really. But the topic of this week is, what did we say? Our most loved gear, or our most used gear, our most favorite gear, something like that. Anyway, so I think I'll go first because I've got all, mine set up. Mine's only going to be quick. Basically, probably the most used thing that I do in my music, and this is stuff that's been published commercially for me, is I do this thing where I set up my strike FET, and it goes through a Moogafoga low pass filter, and then I put it through a digital delay, and it's a stereo panning or a ping pong delay. And now the thing I'll tell you about this is I don't always use the Moogafoga filter. I sometimes put it through a synth with a filter input. But most of the time it's this. And the reason for it is I absolutely love the sound of this filter on here. It's very nice. And the other thing that I do is I make sure that the ping pong delay is MIDI synced to whatever I've got running. So I'm a bit of a hardware jammer, just like you saw Jonathan Cross. What I'll do is I'll start something on my MPC Live, and you can see what's going on.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Let's start something again. I didn't turn the channels on my mixer. Here we go. Try again. All right. You guys hearing that okay?
Yeah,
Does it need to come up a bit, or is it? Yeah, it's coming through right. We'll probably pump it up a bit. All right, that'll do. This is a song I'm working on at the moment anyway, so it's just a bit of a low, sort of lo-fi, laid back sort of thing. But strike fet, I should show it again. Strike fet through a low pass filter with a digital delay. That is at the moment, probably my most loved thing that I do. It's a bit weird, but you know, what can I say? I had to show you guys because you know it's the truth. All right, who wants to go next? Who wants to show or talk about their most loved gear? I think whoever puts their hand up first.
Dazza. I
Dazza,
say
all right.
Dazza because I'm just gonna pop to get a charger.
Mine's obvious what's going to be my one. It's the Yamaha Montage. It's the biggest thing I've got. It's the most powerful thing I've got. It constantly plays with my head in ways that I enjoy, and sometimes it disturbs me with how complex and annoying it can be. So it's taken me a long time to get used to it. It's completely changed my my nervous system and how my muscle memory functions. Having to learn to use the mini keys has completely changed the way I do things. I wish I'd been able to get the 8, but I just couldn't do it at the time. I was using it in front of an audience during the week, and man, we just had an amazing time. It was unreal. Being able to change from sound to sound and not have it jump or glitch. One sound can just seamlessly roll into another, so I can be taking it in one direction and then just move into another, like clean piano sounds. Or I've got a couple of things loaded up that I'll show you later on if I get to use it. And it's between that or the RC505. Often it's the newest thing that we've purchased that is our favorite thing. But for me, it's still the Montage 7. Back to you guys.
Okay, nice. So Montage 7 is Daz's pick. Now, Inky, what did you want to say? Because you sent me the link through. Is that for this segment or is that for something else that you want to talk about?
No, that's for here. But I will say first of all, obviously it's the Force for me. If they implement the sequence length and the scales and the scales and the mode from the circuit and the octaves up and down, you know, if they put the circuit fun into the Force, that is my dream machine. But the other thing is one of the cleverest things I've found for such a small device. So yeah, that's what I sent you.
Okay. Now, where do you want me to start playing the video from? At the start?
No, 20 seconds, I think.
20 seconds. Okay.
Exactly 20 seconds, it'll be all right.
17, 18, 19. All right. This is. Are we kind of flagging Darren here, Inky? I think we are, aren't we?
Well, we'll see if
We'll see what he says.
See what-
Okay, here we go. All right, so Inky, tell us what that is. Without further ado, bonkers.
This is a monster.
There it is.
Go
Yay!
DJ, right now, apart from Japan, I've never really seen them make it big. They did make a bigger version, but it never got the Kickstarter.
Wow.
This thing is awesome. So you can have 2 tracks, 2 separate drum machines going, and play the guitar, and then you could record that and then play the piano over the top. It'll record anything you do in it. But it's got things like the mic input. You can tell if it's a condenser mic, but you can also have 2 phones, one in the line in and one in the mic in, and get 2 phones playing YouTube videos at different speeds, and this will hold it in RAM, buffer it, and play them both at the speed that you've locked. So I don't know of any professional DJ device that will do that. You know, not a console. I don't know of a console that will do that. So I picked this up for 100 quid. Basically, I bid on it, and the bid went through, and the guy went, well, it was when eBay had changed the settings, and he was really not, I'll honour it. About 800 quid new, and about, if you can find them, about 250, 300 second hand. So I was delighted. I don't really use it much, but if I was going on a very long journey or a holiday, I'd take.
Has it got like a rechargeable battery in it, or does it just take sort of like pen light batteries in there?
No, it's got a rechargeable. You know when people go on about the OP1?
Yeah.
That they never charge it?
Yeah.
I've had this over a year. Does it give me? Yeah, and the battery's just not full. I've never charged it.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's awesome.
So that wins an award for something that I've never heard of, and I'd be interested to know, in the guys in the chat and the girls in the chat, if you're in the same boat as me. Have you guys ever heard of this thing? It's called the Inky again. It's called the
Monster Go DJ, and I used this in Hardware Jams, the first entry I ever did, and I came second. So
that's
that was
awesome.
it. That was my entry.
Now that video, by the way, is on Inky's channel, so I will link that into the description below if you do want to watch more of that. It only goes for about a minute, and there's another video on your channel, isn't there, Inky? Or is that the only one?
No, that's the only one.
Oh, that's the only one. Okay, it's exclusive.
Well, they this Hardware Jams group, and they did this one box challenge, and I just bought it, and I thought, well, I thought I'd have a go at something new and join this competition. And I think I only did well because people had never seen it. I think that's what it was. People went, what is it?
Yeah.
But it's a cool piece of kit.
Definitely intrigue factor probably would have come to some player, but you're still pretty good. So there would have been your ability as well, definitely. Absolutely. Well, I actually think that was pretty cool. So you're saying the Force is your most loved, and you're saying this is kind of up there with it, or what are you sort of saying?
I'm saying I have written to Akai, I've messaged Dan Gill of Akai to kind of look at some of the simpler features like scales on the Novation circuit, and something you can't do at the moment. Length of a pattern via the pads, which is like little things like that. But yeah, it's going to be, isn't it? Once I've learnt it, obviously it's 2 MPCs in a box with a crossfader.
Yep.
So it will be, yeah, it will be. But I think this is the cleverest, most outstanding device, because it can do things that I know even the pro stuff can't do, which is like incredibly insane. Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, I'll definitely be checking that out myself. That's awesome. Absolutely cool. All right, Darren, are you ready to jump in and share your most loved?
Yeah, I like that actually, because I think that was the first video I'd watched on a channel, because I was intrigued what that little thing was, because I'd never seen one before. So yeah, it's cool. My most loved, probably the Juno. It'd have to be the Juno, I think. The Juno, or probably the Erebus, but the Mark 1 version. That's the first version. That one.
The one that drifts.
The
one that drifts a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it drifts. Made all with. It's not the new one, which is because they've gone off being handmade now, aren't they? Obviously, because people want them. So that was one of the early ones when it was handmade. So I'd say, yeah, probably the Juno and the Dreadbox Erebus. Probably, if you can't have your door and your computer, yeah, I would say them. The modular's coming close though, but That's what I would say my favourite bit of kit's that.
You've actually got, I mean, I do like the Juno, I'm not going to lie, but you've actually got a synth next to you there, which is probably a little bit of jealousy on my behalf. It's the little grey thing next to you. Probably,
thing, yeah.
probably my most favourite synth ever made by anybody ever. And that is the Roland SH-101. That's a real one. That's not a Behringer clone. There you go. Roland SH-101. The reason... just tell me if you're on the same wavelength as me, but the reason why I love that synth so much is because how simple it is. How simple it is to get to get sounds out of it. It's just incredibly simple to use.
It's got to be the easiest, like I say, the simplest sort of synth. You don't need to delve into anything. You don't need to even, you know, for your VCO source mix, it's all there. It's just sliders. It's just so easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not. I like the way that you've got your two. You know, you've got your saw and your sub oscillators that you can just slide in and out. It's all just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple thing, but great thing for making, well, any sounds from bass to acid.
It's a definite sweet spot machine too. It's one of those ones where you can arrive at a sweet spot pretty quickly. Like you said, those sliders, you just move it a little bit and you've got another sweet spot. Move it again, you've got another one. It's really, really cool. And I'll just quickly show you. This is the clone. If you've only just entered to the synthesizer universe and you've never ever heard of Behringer, they're making clones now. So Darren, you hold up your SH-101 and I'll hold up my MS-101. This is very interesting. Hold up a bit higher. Bit higher. There you go. So look at that. Yeah. They're almost identical. And there's things on here that Behringer have added. And they've added the mod, the famous mod with the FM stuff. They've added the third oscillator too.
Do you still have CV on that?
Yeah, CV at the back.
Right, yeah. Because that's the CV's on the top on it.
See all the CV at the back?
Yeah.
I actually have to get around to doing a video on that. The CV stuff's pretty good on it, believe it or not. There's Anyway, so Dazza, are you ready to show us a little bit of a shindig? Ready. All right, mate.
What have I got to do? Can I throw back to you guys for a couple of things? Let's expand the challenge. What chords am I going to use? Can we do a bit of music theory here?
Yeah, let's do.
Let me explain something first. We're using 4 bars, okay?
Are you micro-tuned?
No, I'm not micro-tuned, but I am tuned to A4 equals 432 hertz. And I was going to try and use every piece of gear in my rig, if possible. It's all turned on. I'll see if I can use every single thing just for the challenge.
Okay. Now, just for everyone, before you go ahead, he's coming through via Skype, so the audio is not going to be crisp and beautiful like... live stream audio is not crisp and beautiful anyway. So just bear in mind, it will kind of be a little bit compressed and maybe even some of the dynamics will be missing, but we'll still get to hear the gist of it. Okay, I'm going to pick a chord and then Inky's going to pick a chord and then Darren's going to pick a chord, okay?
Can I make a suggestion? Can we be in the key of C? So the first chord is C. We're going to start in C.
All right. Darren?
Sorry, it's miles away then. I was just answering the chat. First chord is C.
Yep.
I don't know because I'm usually... You saw it?
Pick a letter between A and G.
Oh. I'm just thinking. G.
Right.
All right. That's good.
Yep. Inky?
Well, that makes it... I'll go for E then.
Yeah. And then I have to go to G sharp then, don't I?
Okay.
Well, I was going to say that actually.
I've got to make this work.
I was going to say G sharp actually, but yeah, G. But no, I was thinking of an actual chord.
Okay.
I didn't know I was thinking of that. Yeah.
But that will sound nice. You can jump from a G sharp back down to a C major, so that'll sound okay.
Well, I just want to confirm with Inky, is that E major or E minor?
Oh, it has to be E minor, doesn't it?
E minor
Well-
seventh, if you've got it.
Oh yes.
My favourite chord.
I've
Yeah.
got one of those, but I'm just worried about how that's going to fit with the G sharp.
You
don't
got
need
suckered
to
into
start.
that, matey.
Oh, dude, I was asking for it. This is going to be a nightmare. All right, let's get some ambiance.
All right, let's go. Let's cube zoom into him. Boom.
Oh, he's going for the lights.
Oh, should we do this? We should do this.
What were those chords then?
Okay, so it went from your C to
Yeah.
a G, then
E
to
minor-
an E minor seventh, and then to a G sharp.
Oh.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
Break all the rules.
Is that coming through?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is called Scoring Melancholy. This is one of the new presets that came with the last update. That's your E minor 7, Linky, just for you. Now here comes the G sharp major. Was it major or minor?
I think he has to go major. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's a bit tricky there. So let's get a tempo. What kind of tempo do you want? Fast or slow?
142.
Whoa,
Oh, that's-
quick one.
142?
Wow, this is going to be tapping. Here we go.
Or it's going to completely suck.
We could
I'm
halve
just-
it. You could
I'm
do
just-
you could do
I'm
double
just-
and half.
Just the 505. I need something a bit more than that piano sound at that tempo. Is that okay? Not too loud?
I'm
That's
I'm controlling it from here, mate. You go for it.
Good, cool. I want to start that one again. This is the obvious problem with looping live. If you stuff it up, you got to correct it.
Yep.
That's pretty
I
dirty.
like that.
Good stuff.
Good
Yay. I'm getting a feedback though.
Oh, okay.
There we go. No, we're good now. It's fixed. I will say that was really cool, because don't forget, Dazzy, you've done that as impromptu, so it was all live, looped live, everything. Well done. I really appreciate your effort there, guys. In the chat, do give us some of your thoughts while we're talking to Dazza about what he just did. Guys in the chat, tell us what your most loved bit of gear is, and because I'm just having a bit of a scroll and I couldn't. I don't know if I picked it up or if I've gone too far back, or I don't know where it is anyway. So if you've mentioned it, just mention it again so we can bring it up. So Dazza, you had the montage and everything's going through the RC505. Tell us a little bit about your setup there.
I'd have been more comfortable at a slower tempo. It was really way too hectic, and the G sharp really messed me up in that. But I think I managed to use almost everything in that. So it met the criteria. It might not have sounded great, but it met the criteria. The setup is that everything's going through a DJ mixer. It's got the montage on one channel. It's got the 505 on another. It's got everything else mixed on the next channel, apart from the Korg Volca Beats, which is mixed on its own channel to get enough space for that kick drum. I was playing live with basically this setup the other night, and I found that having that the Volca Beats was actually really handy, because it gave a real bottom end to anything I was doing. And I've got an effects send there. Now, the trick is to do the looping, I have to, I'm using an effects send to the 505. So I can bring the montage into the loop station, or I can pull it back and put everything else through the loop station. But under these conditions, it was all just a bit too hectic to organize that. And I don't know how long I was playing for. Did I get a minute and a half? Did I get 3 minutes? I'm not sure. But
would have been a couple of minutes, easily.
What was the audio like at your end? I mean, it was hectic here, so it was probably pretty crap at your end. I'd be curious to listen.
It was okay. I mean, we're audio people, so we're not going to love it, but it was okay. I mean, don't forget it's Skype, so yeah.
Very cool. I need to practice, and I need to practice live streaming. It's a big part of what I have to do in the future. But yeah,
well done, mate. Awesome.
I need a second chance.
No, you can have one. Now, while we've got you there, we've got Axelsoft saying he's Mod X and he's System 8, and I'm definitely not surprised that he mentioned those. Finn has said that his favourite gear is the DeepMind 12 with his Blofeld. There we go. I don't mind the DeepMind 12 and the Blofeld. They're pretty good. Stephen Overend is saying he had a Shruti sitting in the studio for over a year, and the only getting to using it now, and he loves how powerful the little box is. Yeah, the Mutable Instruments Shrutis are fantastic. Jonathan Cross saying favourite gear for him is the TR-8S because you got me back into making music again. Well, that's awesome, man. That is actually really cool. If you've found some gear that's got you getting into music, then that will hold a bit of love in your little corner for you. The MPC Live did that for me. Second favourite bit of gear from JC was the Korg Monologue. Your first piece of analog. There you go. Wow. Korg monologue, eh? Wow. What else we got? That's it for now. Beautiful. There's a few suggestions there. So it's good. It's what you can see by that answer is that we've all got different favorite bits of gear. Do you see? So like if Darren said his Juno, Inky said the MPC Akai Force, and the other thing which I've forgotten the name of already from Japan. She'll tell us.
Which I think I've broke. It's a Monster DJ Go, but I tried to turn it off, and I didn't. Sometimes it doesn't turn off, and now it's stuck on the home screen, which I've never seen. So I probably broke it.
Probably need to power it on with the power cord or something. Yeah. And Dazza, you said definitely your montage.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think the montage is the most advanced synth you'll buy. It's amazing. It really is. And I don't think it's been topped. I think the only thing that compares to it is the Korg Kronos, if we're talking digital. Fair enough, analog is different, but for what it can do, yeah, it keeps blowing my mind. I wished I could have shown it off better tonight, but there we go.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is with this is that it's hard to sort of pick one. You know, it's a bit like when you're in your room and one of your kids says, "Who's your favourite kid?" And you can't really say, "Well, you are," and the other kids are listening at the same time. I don't know if you're a parent, you'll get that joke.
I feel like everything I use, I've got an attachment to. So, yeah, they're all kind of usable. They wouldn't be here if I wasn't using them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd have sold them or got rid of them.
Or they'd be sitting out there, like outside the door like the rest of the stuff. The 307 that's sitting right outside the door, feeling neglected, and the PR8 still here.
What I think is interesting is we've gone through this progression over 30, 40 years of synthesizer type music, and it's gone from analog to digital to resurgence of analog, and now we've got this kind of hybrid land, haven't we now, where they're bringing out these analog and digital kind of mix, like the Novation Peak just there has got digital oscillators and analog VCAs and filters, and then you've got these companies like Yamaha and Roland bringing out these digital synths that have got really, really powerful processors in them, programmed to the hilt, and they can produce sounds that you would never even know if you're listening to a recording and you never knew what instruments it was, you would swear it was an analog synth. And so we've got all this at our fingertips now. And what I love about it is, in amongst all of that, we've also got Eurorack, and we've got really, really clever samplers, and it's a great time to love gear. That's kind of what I'm sort of getting at. And it was kind of last week where we were talking about our least loved gear. I thought we had to correct it with our most loved gear. So it was kind of like, the opposite. So anyone else in the chat said anything talking about DeepMind? Yeah, definitely. Surprisingly, I think Inky's the only one out of us four that it's got a DeepMind. I've got a DeepMind 12 as well, sorry. Inky, you've got the desktop one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yours is the 12 or the 6?
The 12.
Yeah.
Because they only do that on the desktop.
They only do a 12, okay.
So,
where does that sit with you, the DeepMind, just out of curiosity?
I do like it. And the one thing I don't like about it is actually what I do like is the res and cutoff are next to each other on sliders. Mm-hmm. So sliders, when you touch it, you can use the jog wheel, but it doesn't feel right. So sliders aren't quite as good as knobs for synths. But because they're together, I can operate them with one hand and kind of seesaw them. That's my only thing. I know they made it with sliders, obviously, but I wish it had dials on it. Does that make sense?
The Juno has sliders for the cut-off and
yeah, well, that's why they've done it. But it's harder to find those like, I don't know, it's very hard to find a sweet spot. There's loads of them, but to find it again, because they're quite small, the sliders. But that being said, I can operate them both with one hand and still be playing with the other, which I couldn't do if they were knobs. So the actual sound is brilliant and the effects are superb. So
yeah, you can't argue with the effects on that. It's like probably the most effects I've seen on the synthesizer ever. It's pretty action-packed effects, and plus you can. Have you tried it with the iPad? Have you mucked around with the effects on the iPad?
I don't have. No, I haven't. I've got it on the computer to try that with, because on the computer version as well, you can get 4 different settings patches and morph between them. So that looks really good.
Yeah,
so that's almost like a factory kind of thing if you did it fast enough with your mouse. You know
yeah,
I mean?
you could do that. I think
that's what I'm thinking.
I think with the Deep Mind, I think Darren hit the nail on the head. It's basically, I think Uli kind of started off as wanting to do a Juno clone, and I don't know if they got told by Roland, "Don't you dare, otherwise we'll sue your pants off," or whether they just decided, "No, we won't do a Juno clone. We'll actually make a proper synth that's got its own, got its own sort of taste." Yeah, you go.
Yes. From what I heard, so Rob and Pete were told to make a Juno clone, and there wasn't going to be a screen or anything, and they just totally went behind his back, and then kind of persuaded him, but he didn't know how far they'd gone till they presented him with the actual pretty much finished version. So they basically just didn't listen to him, but then they are geniuses in themselves, so of course he's going to go along with it, and that's probably why he let them do the Neutron as well then.
Yeah. That's an amazing synth as well, isn't it?
It's supposed to be a clone just like the rest.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. So I was kind of saying the same thing. And the thing that kind of it didn't ever have an analog chorus like the Juno has, and they kind of mucked around with that second oscillator. And I don't know if you really call it a second oscillator. It's kind of weird, that second oscillator in the Deep Mind. I don't know if I think it kind of annoys me more than anything, because you either have a proper second oscillator or you just have a sub oscillator like the Juno has. And I think I don't know. It's that part of it's the bit that lets me down. But yeah, my Deep Mind's sitting up the back there. There it is. And it still gets used. One of the things that I never ever do with it is I never ever make it sound like a Juno. So I know it can, but it's interesting, Darren, isn't it? I've got there's a lot of guts in that Deep Mind that you can actually get it to sound almost identical to a Juno. The only difference being that it doesn't have that analog chorus circuit in it, but it does have a digital chorus in it, which sounds pretty close. So yeah. Deep Mind love everywhere. I Will Create is saying Deep Mind 12 is his favourite synth, even over some of the big boys. Wow. Finn's saying Yuli is on the record of giving the Manchester guys free rein after the initial brief. There you go. Yep. Beautiful. So there you go. Most loved gear. Now, and we've got most people telling us what their most loved gear is. So that's good. So next week, once again, if you do have... Now, the topic of this week, I should say, was given to me by 6 different people. So that's why this topic ended up going through. I did have some other suggestions for a topic, and we'll definitely look at those for next week. But once again, I will leave the question open. If you guys want something specific to talk about, whether it be in my gear, whether it be in Daz's gear, in Darren's gear, even Inky's gear, we can make it a topic, and we can definitely feature it on Saturday Sonority, which is the segment where we kind of just free talk and talk about anything. Weirdness with the stream tonight, I do apologize for that. So if you're watching this back and you think to yourself, what ended up happening? We have no idea. That was according to YouTube, it was streaming, and then according to you guys, it wasn't. So not sure what's going on there. What else have we got to do? There's a few announcements to make now. So with my channel, it's going beautifully. Everything with the live stream, I'm really, really happy with how it's going, and I really appreciate all you guys joining into chat and joining in on the calls, of course. Where I'd like to go next with it is this streaming software that I use here. It needs to get another upgrade. I mean, I just got it over the line by selling my OP1. I had to sell an OP1 to pay for the software, and I do miss the OP1 actually. The next thing I've got to do is I've got to raise $500 to get it to the next stage up, which will enable me to put Dazza down below me. Instead of through Skype, I can put him through the same system as what Inky and Darren are going through, which is the call, and it will give me the scope to run another up to 8 people, which I don't think I'll ever do 8. But the point is, tonight I wanted to have Jonathan Cross on, and Skype wouldn't let me have more than one person, and I'd run out of calls on there. So it's something that we have to do. It's one of those things you get growing pains when you grow. So we've got to sort of work that out. Now, I don't know how I'm going to go about doing it, whether I'll sell gear again, whether I'll send people to my Patreon page, which nobody's in. It's empty. Or what, but we need to come up with that. Otherwise, we've hit the glass ceiling now with what we can do on the stream in terms of 4 callers. So just putting it out there. So if anyone's got any suggestions, I know JC mentioned some conference calling stuff, so we can talk about other options. Bear in mind though that there is other. I know of quite a lot. I'm in the computer industry, so I do know a fair bit about what's out there. A lot of the stuff is not usable for streaming onto YouTube for various reasons, technically, and Darren and Inky and Daz will know firsthand about how sometimes it can get very, very finicky and very technical when you're streaming, and you can just have one tiny thing not set up properly in your computer and it just wrecks the whole night. So just bear in mind that sometimes you might have a great idea. It may look all good on paper and everything, but if it doesn't work, it won't ever work. So yeah, probably the safest way would be to upgrade the license, and that way we can keep everything the way it is. Let us know in the chat too if you're happy with everything. If you've got any suggestions, we always take that on board. Any questions, I guess. And yeah, other than that, I think we could probably end the stream soon. You guys happy with that? It's getting pretty late in Daz's land. What is it, Daz, over there? Is it nearly? Where's my little clock? 2:46 a.m. in Sydney.
Your clock's wrong for us.
Yeah, because I had to. Do you remember how I had to adjust it because you had your daylight savings still?
Yeah.
And I forgot to adjust it back. Yeah. I'll have to adjust it back. You have to remind me to adjust it back. I had to force a calculation on it. Yeah, Sonic State run on 4 ports. Yeah, they do. So yeah, we could just stop at that. That's one way we could look at it. Don't forget though, I can only run on 2. So if Sonic State are running on 4, they've definitely got the upgraded license. I'm only running on 2. So anyway, that's the way it is. When you're seeing 4 of us, that's because you're seeing me from the streaming software. You're seeing Dazza below me from Skype, and then the 2 callers, Darren and Inky. And yeah. Now the other thing I will mention too is I've spoken to the developers of this streaming software, and I've asked them to look into getting a bit technical here, but I've asked them to look into improving the audio side of what you and Darren, what you and Inky have got. You can actually get up to 500 kilobits per second, which is better than what an MP3 can do. I think the most an MP3 can do is 320, isn't it? So this codec can go up to 500 kilobits per second in audio. This is not video, this is audio. And it uses where is it? It uses a protocol called where are we? Opus Codec. It uses WebRTC, but it uses this protocol called Opus Codec. And at the moment, they're sampling our audio at 48K, but it can support up to 510 kilobits per second. And I think at the moment they're only you guys are only coming through around 30, which is tiny, right? You'd agree. So I haven't heard back from them, but I did get the first response. Well, we'll look into it. But I think if we all put pressure on the developers for these things, the audio community will embrace that, because any time we can get better sounding audio out on the interwebs, the better it is. We don't really care so much about the video, do we, guys? We want the audio to be better. The video can look as crunchy as hell, as long as it sounds good. Who agrees?
Yeah, as long as you can see us. So
I've got an excuse for tonight. Thank you. Woo-hoo. It was the audio. I blame the audio.
Yeah, it's Skype. Blame Skype. And as you can see, Daz is advertising the Skype logo on the top right-hand corner of his little box there. So there you go. Awesome. All right. Mac Mister forgot about the time change. Daylight savings is finished for you guys. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Daylight savings is finished because you're going into the cooler months. Yeah, that's right. So so that means the stream starts at 2 p.m. London time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's for you, Mac Mister. So 2 p.m. London time. Now that means the US would start. Would they be? No, they'd be. What are they? World time. This is always good to know because I always get this messed up. So right now it is currently almost 12. It's 10 minutes to 12 in New York. It's 10 minutes to 4 in London, and it's around about if you're in Tokyo in Japan, it's 10 minutes to 1. So there you go. That's just to give you an idea of times around the world. So the stream started an hour and 50 minutes ago. So that means 10 o'clock New York time, 2 o'clock London time, and 11 o'clock Tokyo time if you're on that side of the world. That gives you a bit of a hint on how it goes. Topics open for next week. Don't forget to send in your suggestions. The stream will be up as a replay, so you'll get to see all the bits that I missed out on. Anything else that I forget, guys? Am I forgetting anything? Any announcements?
No, I think that was about it. I don't think missed anything out.
Okay. How's your album going, Darren?
Which one? Well, the one interesting bit. Sometime this month, I think you might be interested in this. There'll be the next track from Orbital Glitch going out this month. So,
wow,
and it's quite a special one as well.
I look forward to that. Definitely look forward to that.
Yeah, it's got a bit of old school. It's back from when it was. So when you hear it, because the other two are already on the channel. So, but and the album, that's just progressing slowly as well as everything else. And the tracks that I put on Sunday, which is one I've got to do for tomorrow. But as you noticed, with the studio being completely torn down on the left-hand side, I've had no chance to do it. And the computer's all unplugged, so I was a bit cross-fingered as well that it come across. And you know what it's like when you unplug things, you never know that it's going to work again.
Yeah. I did a Windows update during the week as well. That happened last time I did my Windows update.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I was like, no. But yeah, it'll work fine. There is some good news. Now, whoever pays attention to my stream and who really does understand about audio will notice two things that are massively different about the way I sound. The first one is that I'm running a what do you call it? I was talking to Dazza about this before. Where has it gone? Come back. I'm running, for those who like isotope software, I'm running RX on, and it's called a denoise filter on my mic. Just on my mic, nothing else. Which means if I turn that off, so I'll bypass it, you'll hear a noise floor now coming through. And I'll turn it on. And it just pops that little tiny bit of the noise off. Now, actually, I had a couple of channels open on the mixer. Sorry, I'll do that again. I'm kind of doing this just for myself when I listen back to the stream. There we go. That's with it off. And that's with it on. So that's the RX from Isotope. I'll just turn those channels back on again. And the other thing I did, if you're watching the stream last week, you would have heard this sort of sound very, very faintly going on in the background. And that was my my PC that runs everything down here. It's a X299 chipset with a Intel Core i7 processor. And it's had a Cooler Master Liquid Pro cooling system in it, which is a liquid-based cooling system. And what I could hear was this, pump and fans just going all the way through the stream. And I watched the stream back last week, and it was doing my head in. So I went out and I ripped out the whole cooling system, and I replaced my, the main fan cooling thing with a Noctua fan. So instead of it being a water cooled system now, it's now back to the old-fashioned fan. And this thing's got massive heat sinks on it. Looks like a V8 engine, this thing. And I'm sitting here in this room and I can't hear anything. It's amazing. It's just made me so happy. So I spent a few days during the week sorting that out. And these things we do. So there you go. And you guys probably think, I don't care about that. It doesn't affect me, but I care, and it makes the stream sound better.
Oh yeah, you could hear it last time, couldn't you? Kicking on, it was just like air conditioning suddenly kicking in.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do in the summer months here. I'm going to be dripping with sweat sitting in this room. There's a window there, and we do get really, really hot weather here in Perth, in Australia. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably have to have a fan running, but I've got that denoise thing now, so it should stop it from coming through. Anyway. We'll stop the stream now, 5 minutes before time than we normally stop, and I wish everyone a great weekend. Say bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for
joining us.
I'll have a great one.
Okay.